Money, power, and respect. These are the words that were popularized by the movie Scarface, the story of a Cuban refugee who makes his way up to the top of the hierarchy in the world of drug dealing. The story starts in 1980, when Tony Montana, an ex-convict and Cuban refugee, arrives penniless in Miami with his companions. After many twists and turns, Tony becomes a powerful drug lord and builds himself a gigantic state. The movie grossed lots of bad critics when it was first released. It was considered uncivilized for its use of graphical language, violence, and drugs. It was even considered a pornographical movie at the time. Even so, the film grossed $45 million at the domestic box office and $66 million worldwide, a number that marked it as a huge success. Nowadays, the movie is considered by many as one of the greatest gang films ever made and as a true-to-facts representation of the reality of a kingpin. Screenwriters and directors such as Martin Scorsese have praised the film, and it has been referenced extensively in pop culture, especially in hip hop music, as well as comic books, television programs, and video games.
Oh, hi! Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode here at Story Hunters. I hope you're all doing well, and let me just ask a quick question. Did you guys like the introduction? I only did it because there's a character on this week's book that made me remember of it. So I wanted to start with a reference to Scarface, a great movie and a great recommendation for all. Anyway, let's go straight to the point. This week's book is called Murder Maker. It is a short thriller that I have read for my English classes. It tells the story of Carla. Oh, here, Murder Maker, sorry. It tells the story of Carla, a middle-aged woman that is left by her husband without further notice. He leaves her he leaves her on a sunny day while they're laying under the trees in their backyard. He leaves her because he has fallen in love with a younger woman. They had two daughters together, and Carla refers to them as spoiled little brats who can't do anything together without starting an argument. Carla moves to another city and mourns her grief for long and long days. After a while, she starts frequenting a group for women who were cheated on or are newly divorced. There, she meets three other women, Diane, Gamma, and Caddy. They become friends and start hanging out a lot. They all have something in common. They all hate their husbands. I actually think they hate all the human race.
Spoiler alert! From this point onwards, there will be lots of spoilers, so if you want to read the book first, please pause it here and
Carl
watch the rest
started
of the
thinking of
review
revenge.
later.
She was badly hurt, really hurt. She wanted her husband to suffer the same way she did. So she begins plotting and decides that it would be better if she practiced a little bit earlier. Coincidentally, she knew the perfect targets. All her friends had bad husbands with whom she could practice, and that's why she flies to Cuba. She's in Cuba. She meets Luis, an attractive man with whom she neighbors. Luis is also Alec Cartwright's neighbors. Alec, in turn, is Diane's shitty husband. He came to Cuba to do some research about medicine, but ended up dating lots of younger girls. He used them while making Diane more sad with each passing day, and that is why Carlo decides to kill him. He didn't deserve to leave, and neither did any of the other excesses. So she continues her spree and killed all of them. She didn't become a cold-blooded killer, but she became less reluctant to the act of killing with each murder.
What
Characters
I
that I liked the
found
most
while
were
reading.
Louise and Pete. They both seem like good guys. Well, Louise is probably involved in some bad stuff, but other than that, he was pleasant. He is described as a charming and beautiful man who knows how to treat a senorita. Pete too is a good guy. He's good with kids, and he's actually romantical. I would like to date him. He appeared to be the kind of guy someone would like to marry. I don't think he deserved to die. Katie always talked about him if he was a monster, but he actually did everything he could to help throughout the book. Carla is a good character too. You get to know her a lot throughout the book, and I started to like her. Other than the fact that she thought her friends would be milky pleased with the fact that she killed their husbands, she was rational. I was rooting for her when she was with Pete, but I already knew something bad would happen, and her going to jail for a car accident and fight in the street was really funny too. Nobody knew who she actually was, and if they knew, I don't think they would let her live that cell anytime soon. I felt lots of emotions throughout the book. The first time Carla referred to her husband as you, I quite didn't understand. I thought that the author was breaking the fourth wall when interacting with the reader, but it wasn't that. I was happy when Alec died, and skeptical when she first met Louise. Who goes to a stranger's house in a country that isn't even yours? Like, what the freak? I could ask the same thing as to who murders three other people in a street, but let's just forget that. It is a nice book, one of the best that I have read from Cambridge or Macmillan. I recommend it to anyone who wants to read a short thriller or anyone that wants to train their English. Even if you're already a native speaker, it is a nice story. It has a good plot. Someone could say that Carla had it all too easy and that the story isn't realistical, but I disagree. She did her best to hide her traces and she did it like a professional. You could say that the police would have caught her in real life, but I don't think so either. There are lots of cases of murder that go by unnoticed, so this could just be one of them. The question that remains is, would anyone do this in real life? Would anyone kill three other people just as a way of training? Would anyone want to kill her husband as a way of revenge? I don't know. I think I wouldn't. So leave your opinion in the comments and give a like to this video if you liked. See you next week.